Hello, good morning and welcome to Newsline, live from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Street in Colombo. And joining me on this Poya Day is Bandula Jayasekara, former diplomat and senior journalist. Good morning, Bandula.
Good morning, very casual attire, Poya attire.
Poya attire, a little bit casual. But there's nothing casual about the news, is there, Bandula?
Yeah, definitely, but then sometimes in this country, Poya, they think it's a dull day, but news is 24/7.
Indeed, it is. And Bandula, the news from the Lebanon, where a Saudi prince has been involved in some importation of some drugs. Sort of
2 tons.
2 tons of tablets. That's an awful lot of tablets.
Yeah, it was the buzz in the social media, especially Twitter, and lots of people were questioning and what will happen to him.
Yeah.
Will they punish him? What will take place? Because as you know very well, how the Saudis, they punish the innocent, the ordinary people, so, and then for the slightest thing.
Yeah.
And they're watching, the world is watching this.
Indeed. The thing, of course, is that it's very worrying because Saudi Arabia is a major influence broker in that region, primarily because, obviously, because of its wealth, of the country's wealth. And of course Lebanon has its own rules and regulations, but I don't think, I haven't read anywhere that the Lebanese legal system is robust, and I'm wondering whether it is robust enough to tackle such a serious situation. It's 2 tons of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm also wondering. What will people say? People talk of rule of law. Let's see, even the non-governmental organizations, other like Amnesty, Human Rights Watch, let's see what they have to say.
Exactly.
Whether they will get under this wealth and giving.
Now, in Saudi Arabia, I think members of the royal family, they easily go over the 5,000 mark. And looking at the name, one of the papers has published his name. Looking at the full name, it appears that this prince is not from what they call the royal line, the first line, where they would have the line of succession. But nevertheless, he is a member of the Saudi royal family.
And they call him a prince, as well as this is a private jet.
Yes, it's a private jet. It's very, very worrying. Because obviously there are different procedures to handle a private aircraft as opposed to scheduled airlines. So it's very worrying, and I'd like to follow this to see whether the Saudi influence from the Saudi Foreign Office will reach the judicial system in the Lebanon. Because it's very serious.
And unfortunately, even in this country, we've had these things happening. There's, everybody should be equal under the law, but it's not. The poor man always gets a bad deal.
Some years ago, we were treated to the information that a politician's son was involved in the distribution of drugs at a nightclub at one of the Colombo hotels. Whilst I remember the incident, I really there hasn't been any coverage really of
also
the progress.
No punishment. I said, how many nightclub brawls have we had? How many of all these people? Nothing. I would like the police to give us a list. What happened? What were the punishments?
Correct.
We really would like to know from the Inspector General of Police. Give us what took place. The people have the right to know.
They should publish it and let us have it.
Yeah.
And this system, while we're on it, Bandula, this system of having to resort to asking the police spokesperson, this is actually an infringement on media freedom, because many are the times that we have found things out through our sources, and we call the agency concerned directly. And they say, well, we can't say anything. You'll have to talk to the police spokesperson. Now, it doesn't matter that the person that we've approached at an agency, let's say the CID, is of a higher rank than the police spokesperson. But when we speak to the police spokesperson, he'll say, well, I don't know about that. I don't have any information. And then we say, but the information is there. Oh, well, I haven't been told about it.
This is what I think we hope and pray the right to information bill will come, and
Exactly.
people will be answerable, especially people in the public sector, anywhere, that they should be able to speak. So
That's
we
right.
have the right to know, and let the public see what they say. If they have something to hide only,
Yeah.
they'll hide. So why have they got to hide things?
That's right. And when we as members of the media phone up, I don't think there's anything wrong in a particular police station or a department, say like the CID. I don't think it's wrong for the person in charge of that unit to speak to the media. It may help, and if it doesn't help, then he can say so that he doesn't want to disclose all the details. But that interaction is rather blocked by the presence of the need to keep reverting to the police spokesperson.
I think people could be much more open, because in most of these cases there's a public interest. People could be open, or they could give the information immediately to the spokesperson.
That's
and
right.
then the spokesperson can have other officers, not only one
That's right.
person, spokesperson's office.
Yeah.
3 or 4 people give me information. They don't have to come on camera,
No.
but they can always give the information.
That's right.
When do you think this right to information bill will come into effect? People are talking about it. But
this is all half-baked. Our dear Prime Minister, for example, has been promising this. He talks that there is now this media freedom, which is probably why I'm saying all this. Yes, we acknowledge that, but it's only to a point. There is a dire need to have this Freedom of Information Act to come through.
And what I was appreciating, which I said in singing this program also, the Defense Secretary came here twice,
Yeah.
and he was very open. I wish the other secretaries also follow.
Indeed,
Indeed. He was very free. It was not he answered whatever we asked. So others also should come and give the answers.
Yes, and
The public have the right to know, because we get lots of questions from the viewers.
we do, and it's essential for the secretaries to develop their relationships with the media networks and the newspapers and so on, so that there is nothing magical about this information, and whatever the information is, the public have a right to that information.
And also, Farah, there are lots of questions the viewers are asking about transport. So we have asked our producer Kamal to get the Minister for Transport. We want to go out anywhere the public can have it. We still haven't got a reply. So this is what we need. There are a lot of issues people have, and then it's so sad that people have become so voiceless, they come to the media.
Yes.
So they should come and answer. It's a good forum we offer.
It is, and the media is not only there for the politicians during times of election. At that time, the media is well sought after, and especially channels such as ours, where the reach is so widespread reach. But they must realize that the media is still around 24/7, 365. We are around
And watching.
and we will hold you accountable, right? So they need to talk to us. The avant-garde matter is one that I can think of instantly. They are not telling us, giving us any sort of coherent.
And I think here in Sri Lanka, a lot of people are hiding things. If we say we are open society, we are free, why can't they speak up? People they have the right to say, okay, we'll get back to you later, we'll get more information, or even no comments. People even wouldn't say that.
Right. I mean, for example, we are made to understand that Avant-Garde have started the process of going for arbitration in, I think it's in Singapore.
Yeah.
Well, they've filed the papers. They need to pay a deposit and so on. And on the one side, my thing is that we are not being kept informed, and therefore your idea of a spokesperson's office would be very welcome, because then we can all go down rather than and deal with the one person at central point, rather than we all burrowing around here and there, running around trying to find information. So if there was a central point, then we could all deal with
I think unfortunately for us in Sri Lanka, people don't realize if you speak freely, if you speak openly and give information, it's easy. Otherwise people will start doubting. If you remember the case during the time of terrorism, the media always depended, till the defense website came into operation, they always depended on the Tamil net.
Right.
So there were a lot of conflicts with the forces, but that's really what happened. So then you have to have alternative other sources. Otherwise they will depend on rumors. This is what will happen.
That's right. It drives the rumor mill going, and you know, with the avant-garde matter, there are many different aspects of this, and we mustn't confuse them. And very quickly, one of those aspects is that there is a vessel called the avant-garde, and that vessel and the actions of that vessel when it's on its latest entry to Sri Lanka has broken a number of rules apparently, and we had the Defence Secretary confirm to us while he was here that they are looking into those transgressions, and those there may well be prosecutions in that respect. But that's about the vessel and its entry. Then we have the issue of the weapons that were found. There are automatic weapons and handheld, you know, the handguns, and that can be interpreted. Some of those weapons can be interpreted as coming under the firearms ordinance.
Surely they can have a press conference and clear the doubts. This is what is required.
That's right. They should do that actually. Then you have another aspect, which is the commercial aspect of the contract, where there are apparently breaches of that agreement. A, in terms of the monies that Raksha is owed by Avant-Garde. B, the need to keep an account of the number of weapons, you know, the database. So these matters, and then of course there's the overall matter of whether the Minister of Defence and his secretary, the former Defence Secretary, whether they were empowered by Parliament, by the Cabinet of Ministers, to enter into this agreement between Raksha and Avant-Garde, and whether the rules of the country were met in that. So these are all separate matters. Just because you've got an agreement doesn't mean that everything's legal, you know. So,
but what I find for us is so unfortunate in this country, even though we claim to be an open society, I've been harping on this, we have lots of things to hide our people. Why can't they be free and say, you know, if you have nothing to worry, speak up, say it, and if you are wrong, accept the punishment. And you know, people can be rehabilitated. Let's do that. That's where, you know, how a developed country, you know, you can be that. But there's so much of things to hide here.
True. We'll come back to that. We're going to take a short break. Keep yourself tuned to News First.